Okay, so I know this is a topic that's been discussed at length in the past, but I wanted to bring it back up again because I've discovered some new information. Or at least I think I have anyway. You see, due to an ongoing legal battle with the Worldwide Fund for Nature, WWE lost the rights to use the WWF name and logo. They'd both been using the WWF acronym since the late 70s, but in 1994, Titan Sports agreed to cease using written uses of WWF and, quote, minimise use of it on air. But crucially, they were still allowed to use the name World Wrestling Federation and the WWF logo, both in its block form and its scratch form. But of course that didn't stop them. They continued to use WWF verbally with Want and Abandon. So in 2000, the Worldwide Fund for Nature sued what was now called World Wrestling Federation Entertainment Incorporated, partly because they were fed up of Titan Sports happily throwing WWF around on all of their products, but also because now that the internet was becoming a bit more ubiquitous, WWF.com was becoming valuable property. While Vince McMahon didn't take the court case particularly seriously, he lost. And in 2002, the now WWE launched their Get the F Out marketing campaign. They also changed all references on its websites from WWF to WWE. Now, I even remember the first time I saw a Get the F Out promo on SmackDown. At first I thought it was just a funny ad and thought the Get the F Out slogan made a cool t-shirt. In fact, I bought the t-shirt, and then when the show started, the realization hit that, oh, this is actually the new logo. The name was subsequently changed to World Wrestling Entertainment with the acronym WWE, but the logo was exactly the same as the old one, except that it now read WW, for reasons that still make no sense 20 years later. I can only assume Vince McMahon was so stubborn that he loved the phrase "get the F out," and everyone's had to appease him since. They continue to use the Scratch WWE logo before changing it to the current network-style logo, but all instances of the old WWF Scratch logo were censored out of past footage and images. They were, however, allowed to use the original block logo for legacy products, so items like replica wrestling belts could continue to use the logo they originally had in the 80s and early 90s. From 2012, the censorship of past logos was no longer required on archival footage due to a settlement with the now undisputed WWF. But all uses of the old logos on new merchandise were banned, leading to this thing. Needless to say, I'm not really a fan of this thing. Partly because that's clearly WW and not WWE, but especially when, why would you do this when you could do this? But you know what? It turns out that WWE does actually still own the trademark to a version of the original block logo. In 1992, it started filing separate trademark applications for this logo, and in 1994 it was granted them. So even though the Worldwide Fund for Nature won the initial court case, and the original trademark of the block and scratch WWF logos would eventually become void, WWE still owns this trademark, but under the name WF rather than WWF, as one could argue that that's what it actually says. So arguably they can still use this logo, but then that would mean that they'd have to put the F back in, and that's not as funny. Anyway, let me know if this thing frustrates you as much as it does me, and I will see you all in the next video where I completely contradict myself.